Dear students, in today's session we will discuss about the phylum Chordata. As in earlier session we found many different classes, superclasses and also subphylum. So I am going from downward to upward direction. So here we found subphylum, then after superclass and then class. So now we will discuss about the general properties of subphylums of phylum Chordata. Okay. So here the phylum Chordata is again divided into three different subphylum. Okay. So out of this, the first one is Urochordata. The first one is Urochordata. Here, the Urochordates are those organisms which possess their notochord in their early stages of life. Like in larval stage only. Okay. So when the organism is going to develop from egg to an adult, in between that they possess an intermediate stage. During that they possess notochord. Here in larval stage only you can find the presence of notochord. In case of these, you can observe that the degeneration ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಥವಾ ಲಾಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, degeneration of notochord when it emerges as an adult. When it is developed into an adult organism, it is going to lose its or degenerates its structure called as notochord. Here, these organisms possess indirect development. So, indirect development, as we learned that there is a larval stage, so we can find the development as indirect one. Here, when it comes to reproduction, they exhibit the hermaphrodite nature of organisms. That means in one individual organism, so we know that earlier, in one individual organism there will be a presence of both ovary and testes. So those are called as hermaphrodites. So animals alli ಒಂದೇ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಎರಡು ಸೆಕ್ಸಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅಂದರೆ both male and female sex structures, that is ovary and testes, both are present, then those are called as hermaphrodites. Here Urochordate organisms are all hermaphrodite. Even they are hermaphrodite, they follow cross fertilization. Cross fertilization as due to the presence of protogynous nature or property. They are exhibiting protogynous property. That means an individual organism possesses ovary and testes both, but the first developing structure will be ovary. That means it receives its sperms for fertilization process of ovum by the other individual organism. Say for example, here is a individual, both ovary and testes will be there, and here is a B organism with a ovary and testes. Okay, so this is a B organism. Due to the presence of earlier development of ovary, it is called as protogynous. The first developmenting structure, reproductive structure will be ovary, so that is called protogynous. So here testes are not well developed and they are not yet formed their sperms for fertilization process. So we know sperms develop agiradilla. So for this reason, it receives the sperms from other developed organism. ಬೇರೆದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಓಲ್ಡ್ ಏಜ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂಥ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅದರದೇ ಗ್ರೂಪಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ that will be received. That means the sperms will be received from other individual organisms which have been showing the next developmental activities, right? So here they receives the sperms and makes the fertilization process. After the completion of fertilization, they exhibit the development, that is here due to the presence of larval stage we can find the indirect development. And here one more thing, when come to these members of urochordates, the members of urochordates, they are having the structures which are similar to a true chordates, like the next higher level chordate organisms. So ivu kuda chordates ane, okay na, but ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುವಾಗ only few properties are present as a complete chordate nature. Okay, as they lost their degenerates its notochord structure. So observe ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಅದೇ ತರನೇ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಮಾತ್ರ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟೀಸು ಕಾರ್ಡೇಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್ ಥರನೇ ಇದೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ಅರ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. So in the same way, you will find that many of the different properties which shows or which justifies that these are chordates, but these are primitive chordates. ಈಗಷ್ಟೇ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇದನ್ನ primitive chordates ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. Primitive chordates. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಯಿತು, ಯೂರೋಕಾರ್ಡೇಟ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಬರೋದು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಒನ್ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ತಗೊಂಡಿರೋಣ. The next one is cephalochordata. Okay na? So both urochordate and cephalochordate, these are the two subphylum of a chordata, and the third subphylum is vertebrata. These first two subphylums are called as primitive chordates, or they are also called as prochordates. Pro means early or primary. So prochordates. Okay na? And the members of this urochordate are bearing a outermost membranous layer to the body wall. If you consider that, so this is a body wall. So ಇದು ಒಂದು ಬಾಡಿ ವಾಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆಗಡೆ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಲೇಯರ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ to the outermost body wall layer, again one more layer has been joined or present. Outermost body wall is provided with one more membranous structure, a membranous structure that is called tunica. A membranous structure called as tunica. So due to the presence of this membrane, the organisms are called as tunicates. Due to the presence of this membranous structure, these are called as tunicates also. Urochordates are also called as tunicates. we will discuss our try to understand the structure of a urocardate, the structure called as tunica. I will write one of the example, that is C squirt. In this C squirt, you can find the presence of two openings, and these two openings are present at the anterior end of the organism, and it is provided at the anterior end, and the organism is attached to the substrate and is having a broader body structure. So this is a C squirt, where the first one is called as a branchial. This is called as a branchial siphon, branchial siphon, and other is called as a atrial siphon, atrial siphon. And to this there will be a presence of one more membranous structure, as I told you earlier, that is called as a tunica. So this is called as a tunica. So that's why these are called as tunicates. Okay. So this is substrate attachment and later inside the body, and it is provided with the other structures and the organ systems. Olagade ella structures irutte. I am just showing you the tunica where it is exactly present and the outermost body structure. Okay. So regarding urocardates, we found many important unique properties, and the general properties will be same. They are triploblastic, they possess organ system level of organization and are called as coelomates, and they have tube within a tube type of body plan, right? So this will be everything same, the only different properties which we discussed here. Okay, I hope you understood about the urocardates. Immediately we will move to the cephalocardates. Okay, so just make a pause of this video and then later write the detailed property of urocardates. Okay. And examples are given, that is Herdmania, C squirt, eradu helidini. Earlier I have given you the examples. Okay. So now we will discuss about the cephalocardates. Here these cephalocardates are also called as primitive cardates, primitive or procardates, procardates, as they possess the notocard structure. In case of urocardate, we found that the notocard will be present at the tail region and it will be only present during its larval stage. Later it is going to be get absent or it is getting degenerated. But when it comes to cephalocardates, here the cephalo word refers to head. So that's why the notocard structure will be present from anterior to posterior end, anterior to posterior end, posterior end. So for this point of view, we will try to understand with the diagram. The notocard structure will be present from anterior to posterior end. Anterior means it is head region, and posterior means it is a tail structure. Okay. So anterior to posterior end, there will be a presence of notocard, and we will try to understand this with the example, the organism called as Amphiaxis. Writing the diagram of Amphiaxis, we are able to analyze the notocard structure, and it will be present throughout its life. So here it is having a streamlined body ಆಸ್ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಫಿಶಸ್. ಸೊ ಫಿಶಸಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಗಿರುತ್ತೋ ಹಾಗೆಯೇ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್ಲೈನ್ ಬಾಡಿನೇ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಲೇಟರ್ ಅಟ್ ದ ಆಂಟೀರಿಯರ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ರೀಜನ್ a little extended structure will be present, and this is called as rostrum. Okay, so this structure is called as rostrum. Rostrum, and later it contains a little bit swollen or bulged balloon like structure which is present at the ventral side of an organism. This is called as the dorsal side of an organism, and this is ventral portion of an organism. And we know that the notocard will be present on the dorsal region, so that's why dorsal notocard anteli helidivi. Okay, so here there will be a presence of notocard from anterior head region to posterior tail region throughout the body. Throughout the body it will be present. Okay, and later you can find the presence of fins also here, and those fins which are like this, and later the next portion of the organism which is on ventral side is present with the same streamlined body of a fishes and ends as a tail. Okay, and this end structure is also having a one more fin called as caudal fin. So this is called caudal fin, and this is called as dorsal fin. Dorsal fin, and this is considered as a notocard. Notocard. Okay. In case of urocardates, you should be always remembering that that will be present. Notocard structure will be present only in larval stage, and it will be degenerating when it turned into adult condition. So that developmental stage is called metamorphosis, and you can find that method is called as retrogressive. Classification time alli already helidini nanu. Okay, so here you can find that the notocard throughout its life. Okay, so then this bulged portion which is called as oral hood, and a radiant structures which are present in this oral hood region is called as oral cirri. Okay, and then later this ventral region is provided with 26 pairs of gonads at ventral surface only. This ventral surface is a place for the presence of gonads which are 26 pairs. Okay, so these are called as gonads, and which are 26 pairs. Okay, I have written very less number. And then there will be a presence of a striped muscle for structure original. ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಪ್ಡ್ ಮಸಲ್ಸಿಂದ ಆಗಿರೋವಂಥದ್ದು. ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಪ್ಡ್ ಮಸಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಏನಪ್ಪ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ, ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಓದಿರ್ತೀರ. ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಯೇಟೆಡ್ ಮಸಲ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಪ್ಡ್ ಮಸಲ್ಸ್, ಅನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಪ್ಡ್ ಮಸಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಓದಿರ್ತೀರ. ಕಾರ್ಡಿಯಾಕ್ ಮಸಲ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸ್ಕೆಲಿಟಲ್ ಮಸಲ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ striated ಆರ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಪ್ಡ್ ಮಸಲ್ಸ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸ್ಮೂತ್ ಮಸಲ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಅನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಪ್ಡ್ ಒನ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಬ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಅವನ್ನ ನಾವು ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಯೇಟೆಡ್ ಮಸಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಬ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಅವನ್ನ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಅನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಪ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ. ಬ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರೋದು ಸ್ಮೂತ್ ಮಸಲ್ಸು, ಬ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಇರೋದು ಕಾರ್ಡಿಯಾಕ್ ಮಸಲ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಬೋನಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ skeletal muscles. Okay na? So regarding that, here they are made up of a striped muscles, and these structures are called as myostomes. Myostomes, which are striped muscle origin. Striped muscle origin. Okay na? So these are 26 legs, and this is caudal fin, notocard. So you know that the structure in detail, as it is having a streamlined body and which makes the connecting link for the next vertebrate organisms. So along with that, you can find that the presence of fins which are dorsal and anal fin, caudal fin, and you can find that the presence of rostrum as a anterior most region, right? So in this way you can find few properties. regarding cephalocardite. When it comes to general properties, they will be triploblastic, coelomate organisms, organ system level of organization. They possess tube within tube type of body plan, right. So, these are the same thing you can find here also in case of urocardates also, but the unique properties are given here. I hope you are understood about the urocardates and cephalocardates. Next, we will move to the vertebrate. The last subphylum of a cardate, a phylum cardate, is the vertebrata. Here we learnt about the presence of notocard as itself notocard only. ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ನೋಟೋಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಆಗೇ ಉಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಅದು ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ, ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮಲ್ಲಿ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಸಾರಿ ಉಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಸಾರಿ ಲಾಸ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಲಾಸ್ ಆಗಿರೋದನ್ನು ನಾವೇನಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ, ಯೂರೋಕಾರ್ಡೇಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ. ಬಟ್ ಉಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋಂಥದ್ದು ಸೆಫಾಲೋಕಾರ್ಡೇಟ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ. ಎಗೇನ್ ಸೆಫಾಲೋಕಾರ್ಡೇಟ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸಬ್ ಫೈಲಮ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ವರ್ಟಬ್ರೇಟಾ ಅಂತೇಳಿ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವೇನು ನೋಡ್ತೀರಾ, the structure of notocard has been turned or converted into vertebral column, dorsal vertebral column. Here notocard itself a notocard, but when come to the next subphylum of a chordata is a vertebrata, the name suggests that the notocard has been converted into vertebral column. So, we will go through the general properties of vertebrate, phylum, subphylum vertebrata. The next is subphylum vertebrata. Here the next vertebrata. Here you can find that the presence of the cellular notocard is converted into dorsal vertebral column. Dorsal vertebral column. So, as we learnt that what I am explaining earlier, the notocard is replaced by vertebral column. Next is, here they contain the bony structure, or it may be and it may be cartilage also, cartilage made also. The vertebral column, whether it may be bony or may be cartilage, right. So, next is, here they contain anterior nerve cord, which is developed as brain, a part of central nervous system, brain, and it runs posteriorly as spinal cord. As in case of notocard, which is present from head to the tail region, it will be converted or replaced as a vertebral column in vertebrata, and it remain as it is a notocard in case of urocardate and cephalocardate. Here it is turned or converted into vertebral column, and later this may consist of bony structure or it may be cartilage. We will find the unique properties of bony and cartilage later in the next superclass. And here the vertebral column which is present from head to tail region, right. So, agale ನಾವು ನೋಡಿದ್ವಿ head ಇಂದ tail region ತನಕನೂ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ. And in the head region, this nerve cord will be a part of a central nervous system called as brain, and which runs as a spinal cord as a posterior direction, as towards posterior direction. So here it is brain, the part of central nervous system, and spinal cord is also a part of central nervous system, but it is a posterior portion. Okay. And next is, you need not to write this one, as I shown you that head and tail region. Here in the head section you can find the central nervous system, and the anterior will be brain and posterior will be spinal cord. And the next property, here they contain exoskeleton and endoskeleton, as in case of earlier group of organism, exoskeleton and endoskeleton also. Skeleton also. If you want to understand exoskeleton and endoskeleton properly, the endo refers to inside. We have our own framework. ನಾವು ಹೀಗೆ ನಿಂತಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ನಮಗೊಂದು ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ಸ್ಕೆಲಿಟಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಕೂಡ ಇದೆ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎಂಡೋಸ್ಕೆಲಿಟನ್. And that endoskeleton, which is made up of bony structures, and is called as a skeletal system. And when it comes to outer region, it also consists of a skeletal portion that is called exoskeleton. Here this exoskeleton will be having many different structures or origins. So those are skin, sometimes it may be skin, or it may be sometimes hairs, and it may be nail, or it may be ooze. ooze ಅಂದರೆ ಗೊರಸು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿರ್ತೀರಲ್ಲ, ಹಸುಗಳು ಕಾಲಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಅಥವಾ ಕುದುರೆ ಅದ್ರ ಕಾಲಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ನೋಡುವಾಗ ooze ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. And next, here it may consist of feathers and also horns. Horns ಅಂತ ಬಂದಾಗ ಕೊಂಬು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಲ್ಲ, ಹಸುಗಳಿಗೂ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಎಮ್ಮೆಗಳಿಗೂ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಜಿಂಕೆಗಳಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಸಾರಂಮೃಗಗಳು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೂ ಕೂಡ ಇರ್ತದೆ. So here the exoskeleton may shows the different structures: skin, hairs, nails, ooze, and also feathers and horns. And this endoskeleton will be of bony structure made in higher group of organisms and in some cartilage made also, and this provides us a framework. Okay na? And next is, here these vertebrata are having nostrils which may be lateral in position. In few organisms it may be lateral in position or may be ventral in position also. Here nostrils which are lateral in position means, if you consider that this is a fish, from this side and this side you can find the nostrils, lateral sides, okay. But when come to the human beings or maybe the other group of organisms, the next higher level superclasses, you can find the nostrils as on ventral surface. Nammadu ventral surface ಇದೆ. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇದನ್ನ nostrils are also present. They are may be present laterally or may be ventrally ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. And next is, they contain a pharyngeal gill slit. We know that pharyngeal means due to the presence of the gill slits in the pharynx region, right? Pharyngeal gill slits. We will understand this gill slits in the next sessions. Gill slits which are present at the pharynx region. Sometimes it may be lost in few stages of life. And next you can find two more general properties. The circulatory system consists of a pumping organ, and along with that accessory organs, those are arteries and veins. And here this pumping organ may be showing single circulation or maybe double circulation. It may consist of 2 chamber or 3 chamber or 4 chamber of heart. And the next property is a reproductive system. Reproductive system. Here in case of reproductive system, you can find the separate sexes and shows both internal and external fertilization, internal and external fertilization, and in primitive vertebrates it shows indirect development. In primitive, I am saying that it is in primitive first formed vertebrates anta ಹೇಳ್ತಿದೀವಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇಂಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ. ಬಟ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬಂದ ಹಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ನಮಗೆ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಇಂಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ primitive vertebrates and then later shows the direct development. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಸೊ ನೀವು ಟ್ಯಾಡ್ಪೋಲ್ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಟ್ಯಾಡ್ಪೋಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತೀರಾ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ರಾಗ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ಯಾಡ್ಪೋಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತೀರಾ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದು ಇಂಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಫ್ರಾಗ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಫಿಶಸ್ಸು ಪ್ರಿಮಿಟಿವ್ ವರ್ಟಬ್ರೇಟ್ಸು, ರೆಪ್ಟೈಲ್ಸ್ ದೆನ್ ಏವ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಮ್ಯಾಮಲ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಕೂಡ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಿಮಿಟಿವ್ ವರ್ಟಬ್ರೇಟಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟು ಮತ್ತು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಹೈಯರ್ ಗ್ರೂಪಲ್ಲಿ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ರಿಗಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ the most important properties of vertebrata we discussed. In the next session we will take up one by one the superclasses and also the classes of the subphylum Vertebrata. Okay, we will understand those things in detail in the coming videos. Thank you dear students.